Welcome back to Nexor Reacts. Let's strap ourselves in and go down the rabbit hole.
Anime to try and take over the world.
Yeah.
This guy became an influencer and brainwashed every single one of his cult members to do.
Whoa.
He tried to portray himself as this messiah that would teach people how to conquer their spirituality, how to reach levels of consciousness that are above everyone else, how to find Zen. What he did to portray himself in these supernatural states, he would make propaganda to feed the entire population of Japan.
Wow.
One of the things being anime. They made animes of him being depicted pretty much like Jesus, levitating, doing all these miracles, but people started believing it, which is wild. Asahara, this cult, it's called Om Shinriko. He had over probably like 40,000 people worldwide. That's how big his cult got. What made him so smart though, he didn't just try to get anybody in his cult. What he tried first,
I'm so frustrated that cut off where it did. How crazy though to depict yourself as some kind of deity and actually convince people through animation. That's wild. Let me know if you've heard of this person before and what happened to them and their cult.
I don't understand. It won't stop.
I'm trying to put my shoes on. Why do I have two left feet? Like, if I take this shoe off and put this shoe on here, cool. This shoe's still on the wrong foot. So then I do it again. What the fuck?
The invisible step.
What the fuck? Oh? Got magic.
People are just standing there like, what's going on here?
Well, damn. That was quite an amusing clip, I'll be honest with you. Area not unlocked yet. That made me laugh. Some of those were quite odd though. The reflection on the train, I'd have to watch that clip back in slow motion and see if it was reflecting further from where he was turning the camera around. I think that is probably what was happening there. The cones, they're just collapsible cones. You could kind of tell when they were putting them down on the ground, they were, you know, lopped over. As far as all those yellow Chevrolet trucks, I imagine they probably just had like a delivery of a whole bunch of them and they had not yet put them into the showroom car park or however it's laid out in the States. A lot of those were pretty self-explanatory, whereas one or two, there's got to be an explanation. Like that flame coming out at the end of that torch, even though it's not plugged in, I'm sure there's some kind of trick to that, but I can't quite figure it out right now.
These people actually captured a demon in church.
Was at church recording the choir when he sees this. A woman by the name Mariana explains that her father has sent her a video watching the church choir, and that while watching the video, she noticed something straight out of a nightmare.
That's a demon. It's a demon, y'all. Oh, blended right in. Maybe the camera was actually able to
Amidst
capture
the
his
people,
true
as he
form.
pans the camera, a pale, lifeless figure can be seen watching him. No one seems to notice it and continue their ceremony as if they're unable to see it. The disturbing video was posted onto Mariana's TikTok page after the discovery. Neither her or her father have any idea
After always watching.
what this thing could
I feel so sorry for that old man. Everyone's calling him a demon at that church event and he's been roasted online for being a demon. I think it's just a frail old man. I mean, there's nothing demonic looking about him. It doesn't help that the camera quality is so bad. The resolution is so low. It's obviously distorting the way his face looks, but I don't see anything particularly unusual about the way he looks. Do you? I think someone's letting superstition get the better of them. I'll be honest with you.
Do you want the key to living a fearless life? Well, if you continue to watch this video, I think I can help. Because I used to be a fearful guy, afraid to fly because I thought I would die. But now I live fearlessly. But you don't get to just live fearlessly for free. Oh no, there's a cost, but I'm not talking about money. No, I'm talking about the cost of living in normie land. If you're willing to not live in normie land anymore, where TV is your life, and where you don't question anything that you learned in your young adult life going through public education, and where you live and breathe and die for your sports teams. If you're willing to make the sacrifice and make the trade of knowing that sports are just a distraction and the TV is literal programming for your mind, and that education, well, is false knowledge. If you're willing to see that, there's a whole world of fearlessness just waiting for you. But if you're happy in your 9 to 5 just squeaking by, and you like turning on the boob tube after a long day's work and watching the old favorite team, and you'd rather distract yourself with all the nonsense so you don't think about that little worry in the back of your head about someday I'm going eternity in the ground, and I'm very afraid of that. Entertainment only.
Sure, where this individual's getting their scientific information from to back what they're saying, but we have observable scientific evidence of certain things that he was talking about. I don't think the Big Bang was just this event where a load of spheres, perfectly formed, were thrown out at millions of miles per hour. We know it was more to do with a soup-type substance, which was made up of many different chemical compounds, which eventually combined to form matter as we know it today. At least that's the more logical way of looking at it. However, the Big Bang is disputed. It is just a theory, not one that I necessarily believe anymore, but his point fundamentally makes sense. Living life fearlessly is quite a challenge, but I think it's better to live each day like it's your last rather than living fearlessly. Or maybe balance the two. Either way, he's right to a point about the distractions, all these different things in the media which are there to kind of propagate a narrative which helps distort the true perception of reality, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't consume entertainment. I think it's just being mindful of consuming that entertainment, looking through the lens of someone who is just looking to be entertained, not educated. I think that's the most important thing.
You did write in the Elvis material that he believed in the Theosophical Society, or he saw merit in it and Blavatsky, and there is no true post-death mediumship. Do you think there is mediumship, or it really is all a trick?
It could be both. There are spirits that are going to try to trick us. That's a part of being a shaman. I think it was Blavatsky who was against the spiritualist movement. She thought it was very popular that these trickster spirits or evil spirits were taking over and these seances and all that. Elvis was never into speaking to spirits. He didn't like numerology to predict things. He wanted to see the deeper meaning and the flow of the universe. Same with astrology. He was never into soothsaying or talking to the dead. He wanted to use it again as for a way of spiritual awakening. That's what he wanted the most, is make contact with God and find out how he could help others, reach more people and help them and heal them, because his music was known to heal people, but he was also trapped in his materialistic Elvis persona and industry. So it was always a hard balance what to do.
I have no idea about any of the spiritual or theological or philosophical opinions of Elvis Presley. What we do know is that he did become, at some point, a materialistic person, but as far as his music healing people, what do you mean by healing? Because all music, to some extent, can be healing. You know, there's a lot of music that I've listened to in hard times, which have, at least I perceive it to have helped me got through them, but I don't think there was anything magical about that music. I think it was just the lyrical content just really connected with me, and I felt I related to what the songs were talking about, and that just helped me feel not so alone in my different periods of hardship in life. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think he was some kind of spiritualist, or if he was just writing music which people could relate to?
He was camping alone when he hears this. An experienced camper named Daniel was camping in the woods one day. He ventured down the woodland trail deep into the woods and eventually chose a spot to set up camp. He settles and starts to prepare a meal when this happens.
I'm going to be out Friday night, but I'm going away Saturday, so I've got a bit of a drive as well, so I didn't want to be tired, and it's going to throw it down Friday night as well, and rain camping is really good. Is that a badger? Hello? I hope I got that on camera. I really hope I did. Because if I didn't, and I'm showing this, people won't believe that. Just my heart's beating a bit quicker there. I'll just give you a full circle round of what I'm looking at. Now, apart from them in the distance playing whatever they're doing, whatever sport they're doing, football or something, I've just heard like someone walked literally past me. And I mean literally walked past me.
Just like with the girl camping alone, Daniel hears footsteps approaching closely, but isn't able to see anyone around. Nonetheless, he decides to stay and continue preparing his meal, but it only gets more creepy from here onwards.
There's that noise again now. Hello? Hello? You got to better hear that. There's nobody here. And it sounds like something's just walking around. I can handle it, won't... Can you wear it?
After hearing more footsteps, he starts to grow increasingly wary of his surroundings. He gets up and surveys the area, but just like before, he sees nothing, and appears to be alone out in the woods, although he's starting to feel as if something is there with him. Despite that, he continues with his camp, finishing his meal, and even starts sleeping in his sleeping bag at night. But in the dark, things are a lot more terrifying.
I'm going to be honest. I can't stay here now. I'm going to be a wimp. I don't care if people call me a wimp in the comments, but I can't stay here. I'm too unsettled. I'm nervous. I've done camping like this a load of times. I think I'm going to go find somewhere else to get this bivvy set up. But I'm leaving this spot. Like now. So I packed my stuff away, and already I'm regretting it. I'm regretting packing away. But I just keep doing it. I've got one side of me telling me to stop being stupid. It's an animal, it's animals. And I've got other side saying, well, didn't sound like that earlier.
Feeling too unsettled, Daniel decides to leave this campsite without hesitation, as he is not sure what may be lurking nearby, waiting for him to fall asleep.
When are people going to learn? Solo camping, as exhilarating as it probably is, doing it in areas where there's other people around, for sure, you're probably going to get spooked by noise of some kind. You could even hear people playing football in the background, as he pointed out. You got to expect there's going to be foot traffic of some kind. Whether that was foot traffic or not, I don't know, but he probably made the right decision to move on. He obviously had some kind of camera with a gimbal mount, because he was able to move it around. Might have been one of those DJI Osmos. Someone might have wanted to steal that. We don't know. We don't even know the geographical location of this place. Somewhere in England, but who knows? Could have been a rough area. Either way, if you do decide to go out camping like this, take someone with you. take something that you can defend yourself with, or deter someone who's going to try and steal something from you maybe. And make sure you let people know where you're going and what time you left and what time you arrived and what time you'll be leaving, just in case. Stay safe out there.
The signs of the mud flood can be found everywhere, and we have really truly just begun to uncover our true history. As we uncover the many secrets and lies along the way, our beautiful journey of rediscovery has just begun, friends. It is far from over. However, you may have noticed an absence from me as of late, seeing far less of me than the several posts a day that you've probably grown accustomed to over the several years I've been doing this. Well, you see, after nearly 4 years, thousands and thousands of videos, multiple platforms of doing this, I've never really taken a break. But with the arrival of my daughter, the latest addition to the Improbable Dreamer family, our house has been quite busy, having one starting first grade in just a few days, and the blessing of our second. It has been an amazing, yet busy time in the Improbable Dreamer household. So I have scaled quite a bit back, taken a little break if you would, but I will be back in full force soon enough, have no fear. This journey of ours is far from over, and as always, question everything, friend. Until next time.
Well, that was a nice little one to end on, isn't it? Congratulations to the Dr. Regenerated. That's the account that I know him by. I don't know his other profiles, but really does hit home though how important it is to take a break when you need to. Don't push yourself further than you can go. It's okay. Put your feet up sometimes and just decompress. When things get on top of you and get too much, you will break, and that's not okay. That's not good for you. It's not good for the people that you care about. So it's important to know your own limits. There's no shame in that. But yeah, more evidence there to support the idea that there was a huge cataclysmic event that reset humanity, and obviously something a lot more recent than what we're told either. That doesn't look like 12,000 years ago, does it? That looks about 150 to 200 years ago. Let me know what you think. That just about does it for today's video. Hope that you've enjoyed these clips. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like and subscribe for future content. I post a video every single day at 8 PM UK time. And if you want to discuss the subject matter which we cover in these videos, you can join our Discord community, place for the like-minded, and keep the conversation going after the video ends. Stay well, stay safe, stay curious. Until next time.